Welcome back to the Hurry Up Offense. Fantasy football news and advice for Week 17 of the 2022 NFL Fantasy Football season. Which means it's championship week, guys. We made it. I am Smokey Rameriz, your fantasy football pro. Let's go. Today is all about the news because it is championship week and there's probably only a few of you left hanging around at this point, and which means you're probably in your championship game, right? So basically we're just going to go over the news right here. Plus, as a bonus, I'm going to give you a secret on how to win your championship game. But first, let's get into the news. A little bit of tight end news. We love the tight end news, right? This season has officially been dubbed by me tight end hell. This is probably the worst season for tight ends I have ever seen since I've been playing the game. But we'll start with Greg Dulcich. He opens the week as a did not practice. He was listed as a non-participant at practice on Wednesday. With Week 17's game versus the Chiefs scheduled for Sunday night kickoff, there's plenty of time for Dulcich to increase activity and receive the green light to play. Continue to monitor the situation. I think at this point we'll take any tight end we can get if the guy is on the field. Now, Greg Dulcich has been productive this season already. Now, it's not a great situation that's going on with the Broncos. We know Russell looks completely done at this point. I'm sure he'll at least have another season or two to try to prove himself, but with the firing of the coach and everything that's going on, I don't plan on a big game for Greg Dulcich, but you probably need him if you are in tight end hell like everybody else. And he has been fairly useful earlier in the season. It's just been a downhill slide lately as that offense just descends into nothingness. But keep an eye on Dulcich. He might be out there later in the week. Let's stay with the Broncos. Latavius Murray receives a veteran's rest day, so he's not at practice right now, at least as of Wednesday. You're probably hearing this on Thursday. Nothing to worry about. He should be back out there later in the week. Jerry Jeudy and Courtland Sutton also limited in practice on Wednesday. Courtland Sutton has a hamstring injury. Jerry Jeudy has an ankle injury. It's still early enough in the week for both pass catchers to suit up for Week 17 versus the Chiefs. Like I said, that is a plus matchup for all the pass catchers in that offense. It's just you got Russell Wilson at quarterback. So Jerry Jeudy has been absolutely wonderful considering the situation that team is in. So I would be wanting to play Jerry Jeudy in anything over a 12-team league. So look for Jeudy later in the week. Courtland Sutton may be beyond actually putting him in a starting lineup at this point, but keep an eye on those two. Here's kind of a scary one out of the Jaguars camp. Trevor Lawrence is not practicing on Wednesday due to his toe injury that he's been battling all season. Now, by all reports so far, he will likely be fine and ready to suit up and play this week versus the Texans. However, people have had rumblings all week about this game not meaning anything to the Jaguars or the Titans this week, so they could be resting guys and not playing them and getting ready for the Week 19 battle to see who's going to win that division. However, I think it would behoove the Jaguars to go ahead and get another win rather than taking it easy and just hoping for the best in Week 18. I think I just said 19. There is no Week 19 this year. Maybe in the future. But right now, Week 18 will be the big battle. So they are all probably going to be full go for that week. It's kind of scary to think that they might rest someone because Lawrence has been on fire for your fantasy football team if you've been playing him. I don't think that we have anything to worry about. I think he will be ready to play through this toe injury, and I think they will be a full go. I don't think they're going to take it easy for a game. The Jaguars need this momentum heading into Week 18. They need these wins heading into the playoffs because I think they're going to destroy the Texans. The Titans, woo, what a day. I think they're going to destroy the Titans and be ready for the playoffs. So, I'm not that worried about Lawrence at this time. Chase Claypool is not practicing on Wednesday. The Bears' offense is kind of horrible. There is one bright spot if you've been playing Justin Fields, which is the only thing you should be concerned about at this point. Outside of David Montgomery, if you need a north-south running back, David Montgomery will be out there and probably catch a few passes too. I think this team has a lot to play for in the future. However, this season is almost a wrap for the Bears. But I still think Justin Fields, even though coming off of a bad week this past week where he put up a whopping 10 points in a PPR league, I think he will still be a full go and he's going to return to a decent production rate. For this Week 17 game, I'm not that worried about Justin Fields. I actually have him on a team that I plan on playing him. It is a 2-quarterback league, this one, but I will be playing him alongside of Hurts or Minshew, whoever shows up this week to play. But don't worry too much. Down in Dallas, Tony Pollard is questionable. He has missed 3 practices in a row. Now, if Tony Pollard is out there on the field, you can't really sit him this week because they're going up against a Titans, like I mentioned, a Titans team who is sitting a lot of starters. Now, like I said, I don't think the Jaguars are going to be sitting, but I do think the Titans are going to be sitting a lot of players. I think they just want to put it all into Week 18 and get ready to make that run because the Titans are hurting right now. They are really hurting. That team seems to be falling apart, and I think this division is going to end up going to the Jaguars either way, but they do want to give it their best shot against the Jaguars in Week 18. So, therefore, if Pollard is on the field, you have to play him. If he's not, then load up Zeke all day. He's going to have a magnificent day. He's going to have a huge workload. We know they love to give Zeke the huge workload. It's just been working out with this split backfield situation they've got going on with Pollard, and both of them have been absolutely productive. I mentioned earlier in the season that Zeke was touchdown dependent. But however, he is still very useful for your fantasy team. And if Pollard is not out there, Zeke is going to get a ton of points this week. That is one horrible defense, and the Cowboys are going to run right over them. And on the other side, like I said, you're not going to have Derrick Henry. I said the Titans are going to be sitting, and Derrick Henry is injured anyway. He's not going to be out there. I don't even want to play the backups on that team. It's falling apart. Now, here's a bit of news with a couple of quarterbacks that might not matter because I don't think you want to play any of these guys. Unless you're in a 2-quarterback league that's kind of deep, at least 12 players or more. You might want to play Colt McCoy because he's going to be back out there, thus ending the Trace McSorley incident that happened. Colt McCoy is not going to be a league winner by any means, but like I said, if you're in a 2-quarterback league and you need something, I would rather have him than Trace McSorley. Jarrett Stidham is taking over for Derek Carr. That's a bad situation with the Raiders also. That team seems to be falling apart. They are all in disarray, and I don't want to play anyone. I don't even think I want to play Devontae or, I don't want to play anyone. Not even Waller. Not even Josh Jacobs. I think this team is actually going to tank it this week with Jarrett Stidham as quarterback. I don't think they're happy with the coach. I don't think they're happy with management. The players are pissed, and some of them absolutely want out at this point. Jarrett Stidham is not going to run a productive offense. Stay away from the Raiders. Even though this is tight end hell season, there has been a bright spot lately in TJ Hawkinson. Now here's the thing. The Vikings have designated Irv Smith to return from IR. TJ Hawkinson has broken out. I know he's had somewhat of breakout seasons with the Lions, but here he is having probably the best season of his career now that he's over with the Vikings. And Smith is coming back. I would not worry about it. I don't think he's going to cut into the workload. I think he's going to do a lot of blocking. I think he might even draw a little bit of coverage away for TJ Hawkinson to get a few more receptions than he actually would have. So don't worry about Irv Smith at this point. Once again, Mecole Hardman is expected back. I'm not even going to mention it anymore. It's not even worth it. Teddy Bridgewater's going to start because Tua is once again in the concussion protocol. He has been productive at times. It's a risk, and it's not a risk I want to take in the fantasy championships, but I guess if you have to in your league, he could absolutely put up points. I would be expecting a floor of, 12 points normally, and probably a ceiling of 20 to 22. It's not going to be horrible. It's not going to tank your game, but it's not going to win you anything in an extravagant fashion either. So Teddy Bridgewater will be out there. On a similar note, Carson Wentz is going to be out there for the Commanders. I think it's better than Taylor Heineke. I don't expect Wentz to win you any game in spectacular fashion either. I don't know. I mean, unless you missed out on Gardner Minshew last week and you still made it into the championship game somehow, and you don't have Hurts if he is playing, you might need to pivot to Carson Wentz in a 2-quarterback league. Other than that, it's not inspiring at all. I wouldn't count on it. This almost wraps up the news, but I will throw this out there right before I get to the big secret here. Dan Graziano of ESPN says he would be surprised if Hurts plays in Week 17. So if you happen to snag Minshew away from the Hurts owner, that might be good for your team. If you were expecting Hurts to be out there, it may not be so good for your team. I don't know how much weight Dan Graziano actually holds in this situation, but he says he gets it from talking to people involved in the situation, and he says that the team feels okay playing Gardner Minshew, that he played well enough last week against Dallas to actually get the start, and they think he could get the win here this week. I don't know. I really don't know. I think if Minshew does play again this week, we may see Hurts in Week 18 if Gardner Minshew does not get the job done this week. So right now, I would say there's a 65-70% chance that Gardner Minshew plays, but there's still the outside hope that Hurts is going to play. Now, that is it for the news. Are you ready for the secret? Here's the thing. I have watched so many teams make it to their championship game and then blow it by overthinking it. The secret to winning your fantasy football championship is much like it is in Week 1. I didn't call it a secret in Week 1, but here's the thing. I give you the advice every single Week 1 of every season to not overthink it. Don't get cute. Don't try to play matchups. Play your stars. Play your proven commodities. Play the people who show out for their teams in times of need. Most of these teams this week have something to play for, and they want to get there. They want to get into the playoffs. They want to set up for next year. They want to earn a spot. Superstars are going to go out and play if they're on the field. And we call certain players superstars because that's absolutely what they are. They go out and win in situations like this. The season is narrowing to an end. These guys need to show out, and they will in most cases. As I tell you all the time, fantasy football is a game of probability. That means we play what is most probable to happen. Right? Well, what is most probable when the season is on the line is that your superstars come through. It's going to happen more times than not. It's not always going to happen. There is no guaranteed predictions in fantasy football. You just can't do it. There's things that are most likely to happen and things that are most likely not going to happen. What we need to do is play the things that are most likely going to happen. And the fact is, superstars go out and perform at the end of the season. That's the secret. Don't get cute. Play your superstars. Play your proven commodities. Even if you think, oh, well, this middling mid-card guy has some outside chance of playing a really bad defense, and he might just show up over my proven commodity. Probably not. It may happen, but most likely it's not. You play your superstars. I have won more championships by not overthinking it than trying to get cute. That's how I win. That's the secret, guys. You play the people who perform in big situations. That's it, guys. I hope you guys are going to go out and win your championships. If there are a few of you that are going to be hanging around for Week 18, you have some kind of championship going on in Week 18. I said it a bunch of times this season, and I will say it again right now. Don't do that after this season. It is horrible. It's not worth it. You're setting yourself up for disappointment. You might get a win here and there. But overall, if you played the best the entire season and you blow it on a Week 18 game where all the teams are just sitting their players, you are going to hate yourself. In the future, change your league. If you're not the commissioner, put it up to the commissioner. Take a vote. Get everybody together. We're going to change this. Week 17 championship games from here on out, guys. But anyway, that's it from me. If you want to hear Alex and I predict every single game every single week and tell you who the winners are going to be, that's the scoreboard. It's already up on the channel. It came out yesterday. If you're hearing this on Thursday, it's up there. Give it a listen. Give us a thumbs up. Please subscribe to the Beyond Football channel. I am Smokey Rameriz, your fantasy football pro. And I'll see you next week for the last time. Deuces.